My name is Katie Attaway, and I'm interviewing Mark Roach. He is a graduate of Millikan University, the creative arts director at a church here in O'Fallon. He's a Christian artist, a producer, and owner of Rewired Creative Services. And then last year, he became an adjunct instructor at Missouri Baptist University. So what drew you to Missouri Baptist?
Actually, I had contacted Missouri Baptist a few years before I started trying to just kind of get interconnected with the educational institutional world and the church world here in the St. Louis area. Because of that, when I transitioned out of one of my places of employment, a church that I was working at, and got a LinkedIn profile, I think LinkedIn sent stuff to every contact, every email address that I had ever sent an email to, and Dr. Larry Smith and I connected via LinkedIn. So he saw my profile and was looking for somebody to kind of take over the audio portion of what was going on at Missouri Baptist and contacted me. So we talked back and forth, and I was real interested, both for the church integration again, and obviously just passion for teaching and audio.
All right. How does your background in music influence your teaching?
Well, I don't know if this is how it influences it, but musicians tend to be learners. I'm an avid learner. I love to learn how to do new things, and I think when people love to learn new things, they tend to love to teach new things because they want to give that to other people too. So certainly my background in music and the practical nature of all that I've learned spills into the way I want to teach my students, practical application and just what my passions are. I'm a doer, not just a teacher. But also, I think it just affects the way I teach because I just have this desire to share. Because when I get little tips and tricks and get to learn new things, it's exciting. And so I hope that the students feel the same way and that I can be a resource to them.
Okay. What was the hardest part of your first year?
So am I supposed to be brutally honest here, or am I supposed to?
Yeah.
So the truth about the hardest part of my first year was reading feedback, because I want people to like me, and so I had students that did like me, and then I had students that did not like me, and that's just always hard. I think you have to have thick skin. You have to understand that the more kids you have in class, the more of a chance that there is that you're not going to connect with somebody, and so reading that feedback, I think, was the toughest part of the year.
Okay. What was the easiest part or the most enjoyable?
Yeah, so the same thing on the opposite side of the spectrum. Having great conversations with students, hearing people talk about the class, and specifically me as an instructor, as someone who impacted their life or their education or their passion for music or audio or whatever. I met some great people and got to pour into some great young minds, and that's awesome.
What would be some advice that you would give a first-year teacher now that you've gotten through your first year?
Yeah, I think I would advise them to communicate as much as you can with somebody that's in the trenches, but also to develop thick skin and just kind of push through it and understand that you're not going to be able to please every single person. You're not going to be able to connect with every single student. Obviously, we can try, but I think that would be my best advice. I had first-year teachers when I was in school, and I had some that I liked, and I had some that I couldn't stand. And so I always thought, if I were a first-year teacher, man, I hope I don't do it this way. And so, you kind of keep that stuff in your head. You don't want to look too green, but you want to be real with the kids. So I guess I shouldn't say kids, the students. So that's a lot of different pieces of advice. But I'd say to communicate with the people that are in charge so that you really know what's expected and you're prepared. To not be too green, but to not be too fake either with the students. Be real. And then, thick skin. Yeah. Thick skin's important.
What is one of the best memories you have of your first year?
Oh gosh, the best memories I have of my first year. Honestly, probably, I don't know if you want me to say this in second person or third person, but a student did an article about me, and that was fun because I saw a couple of positive comments in that article. Thankfully, some of the negative feedback wasn't in that one, but that was really fun. The first final was fun. Just watching everybody do their thing, and the first day was interesting. Both the beginning of the first day and the end of the first day. They're 3-hour classes, so it's kind of nerve-wracking. But I don't know. I have a lot of memories. I don't have one specific thing that stands out other than the fact that one of my students decided to write an article about me.
What is one thing looking back that you would do differently?
I think I'm going to feel this next time I teach the same course. Because I'm a creative, I tend to fall a little bit short on the administrative side of things. And so I think keeping really stringent notes of what I was teaching each week specifically and how it relates to all the documents that are in the Canvas program and all that kind of stuff. That's probably going to back up on me when I teach the same course a second time. I'm probably going to wish that I would have, really documented all that work that I did before each class to prepare, but we'll see.
So why did you choose to become a teacher overall?
I mean, I guess I kind of already answered it a little bit, but I think that knowledge, it's so cheesy to say, but knowledge is power. And especially in the creative industry, there's just always something that can be learned, always a way that you can be pushed. And I just have a crazy passion, not only for what I teach, the creative, I have a crazy passion for audio, for music, for producing, a lot of different creative fields. And I also have a real passion for the next generation. So the idea of being able to kind of pour into those minds and creative spirits is really exciting for me and fulfilling. I feel like if I can take my passion in this stage of my life and kind of help inject it into others, then maybe in that way I'm kind of leaving a little bit of a legacy that can unfold over the next years, decades, whatever.